All right. Well, thank you guys for having me here in your home.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Like I said, just to kind of do a little bit of recap, what's going on in the neighborhood. You may have seen our crews out and about working, but basically this program is being funded with CPS's help as well as the federal government. So, like I said before, if we can get you guys qualified, we're going to come into the home, replace the lights with LED lights, put in smart thermostats, new insulation in the home, air seal and duct seal. So our whole goal behind all this is actually just to upgrade your home, increase the value of it. How long did you guys say you had been in the home for?
For about 5 years, right?
Yeah, it's about 5 years.
Okay, and as far as you guys know, has there been any extra work done with the insulation and everything?
No, not that I know
I
of.
don't think so.
Cool. So like I said, we detailed all that off your square footage, and then on top of everything, we're going to put solar panels up. So our design team came up with a hypothetical design of where the panels would go. So everything at this point, it's very preliminary. We do have to send somebody out to measure the roof, take measurements of everything. But, as of today, should give us a pretty good idea if it's a good fit for you as well as a good fit for us, and we'll kind of go over everything. So if you end up having any questions, you can cut me off. Feel free to ask away, but usually I tend to answer them as I go through it. So sound good?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it does.
Cool. So right here, we call this a smart report. It's pretty simple. Just has your guys' home information. This is just to give you an idea. We know in San Antonio, solar's a little bit newer. That's why this program is being rolled out by CPS. But as you can see here, millions of people are taking advantage of this program throughout the United States. So don't worry, you're not the only people doing it. We're the first, and you won't be the last. So pretty much the way our philosophy works like this, I get this question all the time, and I want to make it pretty clear with you guys. A lot of people will say, well, there's a lot of solar companies out there. What sets you guys apart from other ones? Well, we're not just a solar company. Our business model is a little bit different. What we try to do is we come into your home and we try to reduce the wasted energy, right? So we're trying to take down what you're wasting. So through the lack of insulation, through older lights, your thermostat being old, that sort of thing. Anywhere where you're wasting energy that you don't need to, we're going to come in and fix all that. And then what we're going to do is actually produce the energy you need from solar panels. So instead of just slapping solar panels on the home and say, okay, now your power is coming from that, we're actually coming in, we're upgrading the home, and then putting on solar on top of that. So, make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is sort of just an idea of your home. Most people don't really know this, but just to give you a breakdown of your guys' energy consumption, what it comes through. So number one, the biggest one is your, AC. Here in San Antonio, it gets pretty hot here in the summer. So as you can admit, most of your electricity and your power bill is coming from the AC unit. We're going to help offset that, with the smart thermostat. You're going to be able to set it on a timer. Kind of how those work. Have you seen them before?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
we did.
I'm pretty sure I've ran into them a couple times.
Cool. Well, basically the way they work is you're going to have an app on your phone. Let's say you guys go to the grocery store or you're gone for the day at work or even on vacation. You're going to be able to set the thermostat on a schedule, or if you forget it, you have it cranked way down, you leave the house, you can actually change it on your phone. So we're going to help eliminate a lot of that. Also, cooking, refrigeration, electronics, heating, and lighting. So lighting actually is about 20%. So, getting the smart thermostat, putting in the new lights, that sort of thing, is drastically going to reduce what you guys are using in electricity. Now, are there any homes, I know we talked about it before, are there any rooms in the home that are a little bit more uncomfortable than others?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Yeah, there's a couple rooms upstairs that get really hot.
Pretty hot, okay. Can you kind of get uncomfortable?
Yes.
Well, the added insulation is actually going to help balance out the temperature in the home. So, like I said, we're coming at it with a whole home approach. The biggest thing, a lot of people can see how this benefits them, but the hardest thing is usually getting them qualified for it. So, next what we're going to go over is kind of what, the ins and outs of everything, what everything is going to be, what benefits you guys are going to get from CPS, as well as the federal government for participating in this program if you qualify. So the first part, we kind of discussed the reduction technologies, how we're going to reduce that extra power. Now what we're going to go over is what's going to actually produce your power. So here's a look at your home, what the system's going to look like on the roof. We talked about, the best areas. So south is the best exposure. So you're going to have some panels on the south and the west. Like I said, this is just a hypothetical design. Could change, be a little bit patient with us. We're just doing it from Google Maps, but as you can see here, this just gives you an idea of where the panels will go. So assuming we could put them up there, do those spots look okay? Are there any parts of the roof that are kind of a deal breaker for you guys?
I don't think I'm a big fan when they're in the front of the house.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just do what you have to do. I mean, preferably on the sides.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Yep, and as you can see here, it's going to be on the back and the side, so
Yeah,
shouldn't be
so it's
very
fine.
visible from the front of the house. So, cool. Any questions about the panels, where they're going to go?
No.
No.
Okay, clear as mud.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple and self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Cool part about this, you guys mentioned, a lot of your stuff comes from your phone. You will be able to monitor the system. So the warranty company is actually monitoring it multiple times a day just to make sure it's working right. But you guys will have access to it too. So you can see actually how much it's producing, if your system's working or not.
Oh, that's great.
We're going to know before you do if it's not working, but it just gives you some peace of mind to be able to look at it. So I'll kind of come back over this a little bit later, but this is basically, the way the program works is you guys are already spending money anyways on your utility bill. You can't change that fact, right?
That's right.
Sure.
It's kind of like taxes. That's one thing, like there's no way out. So what this is doing is we're taking the exact same amount of money that you're already spending, but this is actually going to give you something back for it. And as you can see here, we'll go over kind of what the exact numbers are, but the nice part about this is once it's paid for, then you wouldn't have a utility bill at all. So once the package and everything's paid for, no longer have a bill. CPS really isn't that big of a factor.
So, for how long do we have to pay for the panels?
Great question. I'm going to go over that in the next slide. You're just like the sheriff around here. You're just one step ahead of me, aren't you? So basically the way this is going to work for you, I'll kind of go over this. So the number of panels you guys are going to have is 12 of them. So your system size here is going to be a 3.4 kilowatt system. Basically the way the program is going to work, for everything out of pocket is going to be $16,737. That's if you guys were just to pay for it up front without any help. But from the government, you're going to get about $4,200 back. So that's in the form of a tax credit. So what the tax credit is let's say at the end of the year, starting next year, you guys owed $3,000 or $4,000. Instead of writing out a check to Uncle Sam, they're just going to credit you that, right? Go down to zero. Okay. If you guys usually get a return or there's a difference between what you owe and what you're getting back from this, that's just going to be in a check in your name. So, okay. Any questions about that?
No.
Nope.
Yeah, you do have a few years to use it too, which is cool. Lastly, from CPS, you're going to get a check for about $2,600. So that's just a check in your guys' name. You can do with it what you want. Usually we recommend you put the tax credit back into the loan just to help so you're never upside down on it. But with the CPS rebate, it's an extra $2,600. So she can go on a shopping spree now. So.
Yeah.
Yay!
But I guess, not to delve into your guys' finances, but if you guys had an extra, what is that, about $7,000, $8,000, what do you guys think you would do with it?
Probably put it right back into the panels.
Cool, just pay it off sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what most of the neighbors felt that actually were able to qualify for it. They just wanted to put that back into it, pay it off, and it's pretty quick by the time you guys are done with it. So total out of pocket basically for you guys is about $9,800 for power for the next 25 years. I know it's not a lot. You guys aren't. It's not something you're going to retire on, but a lot of the neighbors felt like it was super beneficial. So, any questions with that and how it works?
No, I think you covered it.
So, lastly, kind of the way the payment derives right here. So your guys' payment the first year is going to be about $76. I know you guys said initially your payment, you're paying CPS about $100 a month now. So it's not really big savings, but it will be only $25 a month. So not crazy amounts, but that would be your new utility bill. Yeah. And expect maybe, 10 or 15 bucks a month to CPS on top of that. So you're still going to be connected to CPS, but what you guys are really worrying about is just making the finance payment. So together it'll be about 90 bucks instead of 100 that you're already paying. So you have a couple options. If you guys don't put the 30% from the tax credit into the system, your payment would go up to 124 bucks a month and then stay there. If you guys do put the 30% back, it'll go up to 87 bucks. So the first year is an interest-only payment. This one would go to 87 bucks and lock there for 20 years. So it is a 20-year term, or you would have a 12-year option, but most people do the 20. There's no prepayment penalty or anything like that. So basically, at the end of the day, you guys do it how most of the neighbors do, put the tax credit back in, your payment's going to lock at 87 bucks. So as CPS keeps going up and up and up, your payment's always going to stay the same. Once it's paid off, then you would owe zero. The panels will be working. Everything's going to be taken care of. You would probably just have about 10 or 15 bucks a month as CPS. So, makes sense?
So what if we decided to spend the money instead of putting back to the to the system?
Great question. You can use it for whatever you want. Your payment would go up to this, the $124, which honestly, in a year to a year and a half, it might be that with CPS anyways. So it would just lock in there, and you can use that money for whatever you want. So lastly, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is what we call the Advocate Program. We've kind of went over everything. Do you guys have any questions about anything I've went over so far?
Nope.
Nope.
It's clear.
Seems like it makes sense to you guys, just like our neighbors. And to be honest with you, about 9.5 out of 10 people I meet with, it makes sense. The biggest part of it is actually just getting them qualified, especially with this last part. It is optional, and it wouldn't necessarily determine whether or not we could do your home. So don't feel any pressure. They do ask you to jump through a few hoops, but there will be a reward for it. So typically it's about $500 for you guys. So just after I get done explaining this, just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you feel like you want to participate or you think it would be a good fit. So first thing we're going to ask you guys to do is post to social media. So give us a chance to earn your business, come through, put in the reduction items, install the system. Once it's up and running, you could take a picture of it, post it on social media. Do you guys use Facebook or Twitter?
We do.
How many friends do you have? No, I'm just joking. You guys are probably pretty popular. Next thing is provide a minimum of 6 referrals. Now, this isn't necessarily a deal breaker with the exact number of 6. I've had some give me 12. I've had some 5. Just to preface this up front, we're talking quality people. Now, this would be somebody that's a homeowner, somebody that you think is actually like to use some savings, and maybe somebody that's environmentally conscious or wants to get some money back from Uncle Sam or CPS. It's not really a good fit for everybody, as you can tell, as I've explained. But, anywhere about 5 to 6 people that you guys can think of that own a home could use some savings. We would just ask for those names. It's not multi-level marketing, but we'd actually give you $500 just in general for participating in the Advocate Program, and then $300 to $500 per referral. So, yeah, could make you some money. So, like I said, once again, it's not a big deal if you don't want to. But next thing is be flexible with us. So our schedules, there's going to be 2 installations. Number 1 is going to be all the reduction units. That usually happens within about a week or 2 after today, assuming we get you qualified. Be kind of flexible with us. Usually it's Monday through Friday that they'll be able to do that, anywhere from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we'll definitely give you enough advance time, but just somebody has to be here to let them in the home, do the work. Usually takes about 3 or 4 hours. When it comes to installing the system, you don't have to be here. They would just give a courtesy knock the day before, or the day of, that morning. Get up, do their thing on the roof. It could take 1 to 2 days, but we'll definitely communicate with you in advance, just so you guys are fully aware. So, make sense? Okay, and then last thing, like I said, just kind of make a decision today whether or not you want to take part in the Advocate Program. What you're going to get from this is, number 1, online discounts. So basically for the next 5 years, you're going to get 20% off the Nerd Online store. What you're going to find in there would be, more LED lights if you guys need some. And as technology increases, there's going to be different things in there that are going to be able to help you guys in your home. So before you go put in new light fixtures or anything like that, maybe check the store first, because we're buying thousands or hundreds of thousands at once. Probably get a little bit better deal than if you just go to Home Depot. Sound good? Next thing, you're going to receive $500 for any referral that successfully qualifies as an installed. So they got to qualify, and then once it's installed, you're going to get $500 per person that you refer. So, it could be up to about $3,000. Get a price guarantee, so you'll receive discounted pricing on everything in our store, being a Nerd Family customer. So if somebody just goes on our website, tries to buy something from us, they're not going to get the discount that you guys do. So, and then lastly, it's not a big deal. You're getting a lot more from like CPS and the federal government, but just for participating, we're going to give you another $500 once your own system is installed, just as a thank you, like welcome to the company. So, sound good? Great. Well, basically at this point, what I'll have you guys do, we do need to see if you guys qualify. The way we do that is just to verify income as well as like credit. As we talked in the beginning, there's 3 factors to qualify. Number 1, you got to be on the title of the home. Number 2, the credit needs to be 660 and above, and household income needs to be about $40,000, household or above. So what we'll do while I'm checking that with your husband, if you want to grab a pen and paper and start writing out 6 names that you think might benefit from this, we'll see if we can get you guys qualified.
All right, perfect.